Hello, yogis. I guess we're going, yeah, we're going good. So, Mike here again today. Uh, I think what I'm going to start doing is some shorter yoga sessions, post them on YouTube, just kind of generate a practice. I do have a workshop coming up in October of 2020, and hope you can join me in that workshop. But today, it's a yoga session that I started up in my cabin this weekend. Beautiful day. I was on the deck. I was using my cell phone to record, and it ran out of memory pretty quick. So I'm going to redo that yoga session, and it's all about forward fold. So it's just going to be a kind of a quick, short one today, but it's about doing a forward fold and the alignment around that. So we're going to start by standing in Tadasana. Feet directly below your hips. Engage your thighs, engage your glutes. Stomach muscles engaged just about 10%. Shoulders up and back and down. And your chin parallel with the floor and back just a little bit. Good. Now we're going to take our arms out in front of us. Interlace the fingers. Push out. And then raise those arms up over your head. And really reach for the ceiling. Reach for the ceiling. Engage your thighs. Raise your kneecaps. Engage your thigh muscles. Raise your kneecaps up. Have a little weight on the outside of your feet. So that's called proprioception. Is where is your body in space? So feel the floor, your mat, your carpet on the outside edges of your feet. Now release your arms down the T position, and just hold them right there for a minute. So now we're going to strengthen our shoulders a bit, and we're going to twist one way. Keep your feet the same, but everything else can rotate. Your legs can rotate, your hips, and maybe you don't go all the way sideways. That's cool. We come back the other way. So proprioception is about where is your body in space. I want to focus a little bit more on interoception. Interoception, that's the feeling of what's going on inside of your body. Not where's your body, what's your interface of your body with space. Come back in the center. Hold those arms up. Now, bring your elbows up, your fingers into a mudra. A little mudra where you connect your index finger and your thumb. That. And then we're going to just bring our arms out again. I'm just strengthening the shoulders a little bit. Now, bring your arms around behind and clasp your hands behind. I'm just going to turn to the side here. Re-engage your Tadasana. And with your hands clasped, push down toward the floor. So that brings your shoulder blades down, your shoulders come down. Now, just hold this position and think about what is going on inside your body. What's your breath doing? Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. What's going on with your feet? How do your feet feel? Are they relaxed? Are they tense? How do your feet feel? Okay, now I want to bend your knees generously. Keep your back nice and straight, and that helps to have your arms behind you. Keep your back straight. Hinge at the hips, and we're just going to come forward just a little bit. Not very much, like a 45-degree angle or so. You can raise your arms a little bit. This really helps to open up the chest, spreads the clavicle bones, your collarbones, spreads them out, opens up your chest, nice heart opener. And then stand back up, and then release your hands and shake those out. Good. Now we're just going to shrug the shoulders up, back, and down, up, back, and down, up, back, and down. Now, reverse, back, up, forward, and down, back, up, forward, and down. Good. Now, take your hands, interlace them one finger over this time, and then we're just going to work our wrists. And we're going to do a little wave. Now we're going to invert the hands. We're going to come up overhead again. This time we're going to do a lateral bend. So pick a choice, do a lateral bend. This time, interoception. Feel what is stretching in your body and what's compressing. One side is stretching, one side is compressing. Come up to center, come over the other side. Does it feel the same inside your body? Or does one side feel more stretched, more compressed? What's it doing to your organs, in your abdomen? Now we're going to come back up to center again, and we're going to come, you can release your hands, just bring your hands in straight up, and then we're going to come back over to one side, but we're going to bend our inside knee. Whichever way you're leaning, bend the knee that's toward the way you're leaning. And for me, I really feel this inside my body. The first time I did it with my legs straight, it was more in my ribs. Now I feel it more in my hip. That's me. I don't know what you guys are feeling, but that's called interoception, is to see what you're feeling inside your own body. Now, bend the other knee as you lean the other direction and see where you feel it. I can actually stick that hip out a little bit farther this way too when I bend that knee. Come back up, arms back out, T position. And now we're just going to turn our feet and come into a warrior two. So I'm lining up my front heel, my arms are still up. Do a little shoulder work today. Arms are still up, lining my front heel with my back heel. Back foot, you can't see my feet, but my back foot is about a 45-degree angle. Front knee directly over my front ankle. And then you can come up with that back hand again into this mudra with your index finger and your thumb touching. I forget the name of that mudra, you guys may know. Come back up. Now, straighten that front knee, and we're going to come into triangle pose. Okay, now where are you feeling this? What inside your body are you feeling? Me, it's big hamstring stretch, abductor stretch on my forward leg. Drop your upper side body toward the ground to lengthen your lower side body. So we're not doing a lateral bend as much as we're keeping our torso straight. The two pillars of our torso from the hips up to the shoulders. Keep those straight. Now bend that forward knee, come back up. We're going to twist to the other direction. Twist our feet around. So now line up heel to heel. That's what I like to do. You can line up forward heel to back arch if you like. That feels better. Bend that forward knee. Come into your warrior two. Again, the back hand can come up into the mudra. Shoulders are getting work now. If it's too much for your shoulders, you can drop your hand and rest it. Come back up, straighten that forward leg. Reach across the room, come into your triangle pose. I like to put my forward hand just on my shin below my knee. Drop those upper ribs toward the floor to lengthen your side body. You can look, and your forward shoulder should be directly over your forward leg somewhere. In other words, if your butt's sticking out, excuse me, if your butt's sticking out the back, then that's going to rotate your shoulder forward, so your shoulder's going to be forward. If you ran a plumb bob from your shoulder, it falls in front of my leg. So I'm going to bring my hips back in line, and then my shoulder, if I drop a plumb bob, it goes right over my forward leg. So then you know you're in good alignment for the triangle pose. Bend that forward knee, come up, and then come back up in the center. And we're just going to come into goddess pose. Rotate your feet out at a 45-degree angle from your heels, toes from your heels. Come up into that mudra again, and come into goddess pose. Nice straight back. Your shoulders directly over your hips, so we're not leaning forward. I'll turn sideways. Shoulders over hips, so we're not leaning forward. Keep it nice and back, just like you're leaning up against the wall, but you're not. Okay, now come up. Now we're going to come into just a forward fold sequence. So forward fold sequence, lots of different ways of doing this. If you got a chair, would be great. If you got a wall, that's good too. Everybody's going to be a little bit different on the amount of forward bend that you're going to have in your forward fold. So I'm going to come sideways with this, just so we can see. So we're going to stand Tadasana, feet hip width apart, engage your thighs, glutes, abs down, or ribs down to engage your abs, shoulders back, Tadasana. Now, you put your hands just on your hips. Now, I'm going to bend my knees, generously bend my knees. Again, I'm going to hinge at the hips. And you can really feel this just with your hands on your hips. Just rotate your hips forward. Keep your back nice and straight. Back stays straight. Now, only come to like a 45-degree angle. Most of us can probably do a 45-degree angle. I'm just going to move forward a little bit to get closer to this bench. If you got a chair, that works. You got blocks, you got a wall, table, anything like that. And then come and bring your hands down to this bench. So there's a lot of bus stops to a forward fold. Forward fold is really good for you. It's the beginning of an inversion. Inversion is anywhere you get your head below your heart. So you can come forward a little bit more. As long as you can keep your back straight, come forward a little bit more. And rotate your hips forward to where the top of the hips come forward, back, your tailbone sticks back. That helps to elongate the hamstrings, but also helps to keep your lower back nice and straight, so the lower back still flat. So I can come to right about here before I start one to round. Now you can even bend your legs even more and come into more of a forward fold. Now if you can reach the floor, if you got blocks, whatever, I'm going to go ahead and round my back now, but my knees are generously bent. So my stomach and my chest now are really on my thighs, and I come into an inversion, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inversions are really good for your immune system. And this is a good time of year to boost your immune system, so it's really good to do this. It's good to also stretch your hamstrings a little bit. And you can stretch your hamstrings even with your knees bent, although you get more of a stretch with straighter legs. So if you want to take it to the next level in this position, you can just straighten your knees a little bit. The more you straighten your knees, the more your hamstrings are going to stretch.
if you keep your knees straight, you're going to get the maximum stretch of your hamstrings. Big inhale, big exhale. Big inhale, big exhale. Big inhale, big exhale. And then walk your hands up your legs or put your hands on your chair or your bench, whatever you got. Come up just to where your back is horizontal. Rotate your hips forward again. So instead of having a rounded back like mine, if you look at me on your screen, now you can see I've got a nice rounded back. Kind of rounded where I was in a forward fold. What I want to do is, when I'm halfway up, is I want to straighten my back. And so, in order to do that, I've got to rotate my hips forward. So the top of your hips come forward, your tailbone sticks back behind you, and that flattens out the back. I think it's important when you come up from halfway up to standing that you have a straight back. It prevents lower back injury. You can take your hands around behind you, clasp your hands, push your hands behind you, come up nice and easy as we hinge just at the hips. So that's Uttanasana. There's a lot of different bus stops in Uttanasana, depending how far down you like to go. Again, you only need to go maybe 45 degrees. We're going to do it one more time, just so you can get a little more perspective on interoception. So this time, as we do a forward fold, you've probably done this 100 times. Think about what's going on with your heart. So just think about an organ in your body. Think about your heart. Think about what's going on in your body. This time, you can bend your knees if you like. Certainly, you can always do whatever it is you like. Bend your knees. I'm going to keep my legs straight this time and see how far over I can go. So I'm hinging at the hips. I'm coming over. I do have a micro bend in my knees just so that I don't hyperextend my knees. Come over, nice straight back, straight back. So far, so good. Maybe I'll reach for the bench. Maybe this is a bus stop right here. Maybe that's as far as I want to go here. With my legs pretty straight. I can straighten them a little bit more and then bend them. Straighten them and bend them. Straighten them and bend them. Amanda does this in her class quite a bit. It's a little dynamic for your hamstrings. See if I can get down a little bit more. Again, I'm going to come up, I'm going to hinge at the hips, bring my hands around behind me, push, and come up to standing. Then we come back in the center. Okay, that is it for today. I'm going to sign off. Thanks for a little simple stretch this morning, a little Uttanasana work on forward fold, understanding proprioception, interoception. We'll work on some of this more in my workshop coming up, and hope to see you next time. Thanks for joining me today with yoga. May our thoughts be peaceful. May our words be peaceful. And may our heart be peaceful. Namaste.